I just turned off everybody's microphone. Someone has some noise in the background, so you have to turn it on yourself. You turn on your microphone, Frederick.
Okay.
I had to mute everybody because of the noise in the background. So you can continue now.
All right. So welcome, everyone. My name is Frederick from Axis. So for today's agenda, we first report a bit about the Linux Foundation. So really, do you want to report on that, or do you have any updates?
Do you mean updates from? Yeah, we are in the process of handing over everything to Linux Foundation. And we have a website also that we are going to launch very soon. So we're just reviewing. We have a proposal and a design and a staging site set up. So we'll just have a look at that, and yeah, it will be online soon. Otherwise, I don't know. Per is not joining today. Otherwise, he would have the latest update from the governance team about the transfer.
Yeah, I think we are still discussing the charters. There's some minor updating going on with the technical charter, like definition of who is a maintainer, who is a contributor, and so on. So it's some minor things. That's what I know. So it's still not quite done yet. Hopefully, it will be done before the hackathon. It's been a bit slow going.
There is no major changes. It's just that it's about sloppy wordings and definitions, as you say, Fredrik, that needs to be tightened.
Yeah. So it's the Linux Foundation legal departments and also Axis legal department have been involved. I don't know if there's any other companies involved.
I guess Per is discussing this within the governance team, so probably the members of the governance team also is involved somehow.
Yep. Anyways, so that things are happening on that side. So soon we will be actually a Linux Foundation funded project.
Frederick, sorry for interrupt. I have a colleague won't join us our meeting. Could you let him in?
Yep, I've been letting everyone in.
Yeah, me too.
Oh?
So it should be.
He told me that that you should give him the permission. He just asked to join us meeting now.
Was it Kevin or is someone else?
No, it's not Kevin.
Yeah, I've been accepting everyone that has.
Okay. There is no one in the lobby. No, there is. Yeah. No. Amba Hikuan too.
That's from Umbrella.
Yeah, it should be Umbrella. That's correct.
Okay, I let him try again. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next agenda item was Umbrella introduction. So we have some guys from Umbrella joining this time. So maybe you can introduce yourself and yeah, give a background.
Yeah, hello. Hi, this is Jian Tang from Umbrella Shanghai. Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Jian Tang from Umbrella Shanghai. So right now we are working with Axis on some projects about the Unimatrix support. So we don't have much knowledge about the Unimatrix. I think we need to learn more things from this meeting or learn some background.
Yeah, so the idea is we want to support Umbrella CV22 platform with Unimatrix. So, and basically we want to be able to do like a zero copy transfer from the video API to the inference accelerator, so that you get an efficient data path.
Yeah, yes, there's the discussion and also the features we are implement on 322 SDK.
Yeah. So also we would like to open source the. So we have open sourced our inference engine, which is the Larod engine. So we would like to add Umbrella backend to that one. So, but in order to be able to put it open source, there are some libraries from Umbrella that has NDA right now, so it's not possible to open source the whole stack. So are there any plans from Umbrella to change the license for this library?
I think from the recent discussion, we already agreed to change license for some libraries in the near user space from the Umbrella proprietary license to the Apache v2. And I think we already released the latest code to Axis.
Wow, that's perfect. That's really good news. And you will. So we got the code. I haven't looked at it. So yeah, it will be a public release as well.
I need to check with our company internal. Yeah. So right now we just released those libraries inside the Umbrella SDK to Umbrella customers, but not published on the internet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really good news from Umbrella. Are there any questions from any other member?
Focal side, we'd like to follow up with Umbrella separately on the testing and evaluation issues. So we can take that separately with Jian Tang. So.
Yeah, no problem.
So we'll send you an email and try to set up some time to catch up.
Sure.
And from Panasonic side, have you also got the SDK from Umbrella? Or?
Yeah. We are also considering using the. It's a candidate. So we are also happy to hear today's news.
Okay. There no further update or questions? Then I'll move on to the next item. So I think there's an update from Panasonic. So I'll stop sharing and you can share from your side as a new presentation.
Yes. じゃあ、尾形さん、
I think
アサイメントのやつ。
can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your time. And I'm Yusuke Ogata from Panasonic iPro. We have two topics. First topic is task assignment list. And this is the task assignment list. And could you please check if this matches your understanding of the task assignment? Let me check it later. And we think it is necessary to manage tasks in order to understand the activity status at Unimatrix and work together. How about manage tasks for the following purpose? Unimatrix member can check the progress, and to work together, Unimatrix members can know who is in charge of each task, and Unimatrix members can know the relationship between each task. I consider about how to use the tools in GitLab. So let me introduce how to use it. And this is overview, and this is an overview of the task list. I tried inputting the task to the Unimatrix private project of GitLab as a trial. You can see it. You can see it at on the GitLab now, and this document describes this usage. So I think that some rules are necessary to use the tool. Some examples are given here. A company in charge of a task performs the above operations, and a company will inform Unimatrix members in the mailing list or regular meetings when a company add or change tasks to avoid duplication of work. So I describe how to read the task list. This is the title is task name, and blue label is company name, and yellow label is category of tasks. And tasks without blue label have no company in charge. And explain how to add task. This is the list on the GitLab Unimatrix private project. And choose issues and list here. And click the new issue button. You can input the title and enter assignee. Choose name here. And choose labels. Company name is mandatory, and I think the yellow label will help us find out what the task is for. So I think we should. I think it. I think you should. We should also attach a yellow label.
You already registered some of the items with yellow label. Could you show us again? そうそうそうそう。ちょろっと少しずつ一行、そう、ちょっとずつ流して。You already registered some kind of, developing API, inference API, and task and evaluation, video API. He already registered some 5 or 6 categories with a yellow label. Thank you.
Okay. So, if label is not registered, you can create create label. This input label name and choose colors and push the create button. You can add register it newly. And next, input the due date and push submit button. Push submit issue button. So it can add the task at the list here. And next, I describe how to check the task status. We can see task status at both. There are 3 status. Open status is a task before starting, and doing is on progress task, and close is completed task. And we can update the task by dragging the task to the next stage, next status. So, we can check the progress, task progress at the board. So
excuse me. Let me confirm again with the previous page. Status のページ。Let me confirm. We have 3 status. 3 types as a status type as we can manage open and
doing.
Can you zoom in?
Oh, okay. Open.
Open. We have open and doing.
Doing and code.
3 types. Any other types do we have? No.
No. I think
one more or 2 more, or you don't know? Just a question.
and I don't know.
You just know just these three status.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Let's go proceed.
Okay. Thank you. And I noticed when I tried using it, I noticed the following. It is difficult to express relationships between tasks, and it is difficult to understand what the task is for. So if there is a more excellent method or useful tool, please introduce it. That's all for task management explanation. So let's get to discuss this.
You go to the final page. あんま通じてないですね。And on this page, he wants to say he and he is a beginner of GitLab, and we found some kind of management tool on GitLab that can be used for free. But he tried using it and introduced it today, but its interface is some kind of not so sophisticated, I think. So he wants some information. The third item is if there is a more excellent method or useful tool, please introduce it. Yes, that's it. Yeah, if you have some more recommendations to manage for the management tool for free or cheap one, that he wants to say on this page.
Oh, thank you.
Focal has some experience with GitHub. GitHub has a similar tool. It's about the same. It's not better than GitLab. At least this piece of the GitLab tool is the same, and it's no better. One thing that is better on GitHub is the search capability. I have found so far that the search capability on GitLab, you can't search very well across the entire Unimatrix organization. Once you go inside a single repository, search works pretty well. But evidently, this is a limitation of GitLab. There's no way to search across the entire project. So that may be a problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have tried this on GitHub as well. They have, for example, the Docker has their task planning on GitHub, and it's similar. You can't have subtasks and things like that. So it's quite basic.
But there is, when you're reading like Git Kraken and so on, so is there other tools that could be used together with GitLab that could give us that functionality?
I think if you want a Kanban style, and that's what this card and column board is called, a Kanban board. The most full-featured Kanban board with Git integration is Trello. I think you have to pay to get the GitHub integration working. I don't know about GitLab integration, but I'm guessing it's also paid. But Trello, as far as Kanban boards go, is the most full-featured. You can do a lot of very nice things, including email subscriptions and so forth. The one advantage that we've found to using the Kanban on GitHub is that you can quickly turn your cards into issues. And so there's basically a quick workflow that says, you know, a project, for example, a project manager might create a card for a specific task, and then the developer team could turn that card into one or more issues on individual repositories with very low effort. So using an external tool, you don't get that nice issue to card workflow.
But can we start to try out this in GitLab first, and then if we're not happy with it, we can maybe see if we want to have a commercial tool?
Yeah. Anyway, yes, I agree. First, let's try using GitLab first.
I agree as well. I don't think there's a better answer out there at the moment, so I think it makes sense to stick with GitLab.
尾形さん、というわけで、なんかいろいろ問題あるんだけど、他の外のツールも、いろいろ検討の余地はあるんだけど、まずは GitLab を使ってみましょうみたいな感じです。
わかりました。
はい。
Thank you very much. And
could you go back to the first or second page?
Yes, here. This page.
You said we all Unimatrix members need to check the this table. We can see the table. Yes, it's very small. So could zoom up more zoom. One more zoom. More. Okay. We need to check the. Could you explain again what we need to do for on this table? Again, repeat するだけでいい。
And could you
そうそう。なんか、we need to check which item?
Company and item and company.
Okay. You enter the company names temporarily. We need to check if they are correct as the if they are correct with the assignment. For example, video currently he entered all of the video API. He entered the first company as access for all of the items. He wants to know whether it's they are correct or incorrect. And
yeah, I mean, we need some help, but we can be company one, of course. But for example, OpenCV subset, we would like to discuss with other companies what their requirements are. So if there's someone willing to, I mean, for creating the Docker base layer with OpenCV, we need to kind of configure OpenCV the right way for the subset that we want to have there. And I guess for the testing part, it's about running the OpenCV test suite, basically. So is any company interested in being helping out with OpenCV?
Hackvision would like to work together with Axis.
Okay, good. Then if there is already a task, we will do something for the hackathon, a presentation.
Okay.小和田さん、これ、この表からはみ出てるアイテムってあるんでしたっけ？これで全部映ってるのは全部？
全部です。
Is that all? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, 小和田さん、is that all?
はい、そうそう。Is that all?
もし終わるんだったら、なんか、ありがとうございました的にペロッと言って、ペロッと終わっちゃえばいいと思います。
そうです。Thank you. Thank you for your comment. And so the next topic is overall schedule. This is our assumption, and I upload it at GitLab milestones. This is our assumption. We would like to adjust the schedule based on this.
Let me explain for the supplement. This overall schedule is the sample fake. I prepared it just for persuade our executive managers in my company to persuade to approve to persuade them to approve the budget for the Unimatrix work. So it's a completely fake. We need to discuss which is actually the actual goal and schedule for us. It's just an example. So, はい、じゃあ、go to next.
We assumption the official release is expected 2022, and we assume that the evaluation version will be created twice then, and we expect it to be around March 2021 other version that can demonstrate the core concept of Unimatrix. So first of all, why not proceed with the implementation of API, SDKs, and essential functions with the goal of March 2021. We would like to discuss it in the future. So please check it. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, this is Howard from Huawei. I'm wondering if we can participate in the API for reference platform. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah. Which API, for the video API or?
Could
for
we go
reference
back?
platform.
Yeah, go back to the task list.
いや、小原さん、タスクリスト、さっき見せてもらった2ページ目ぐらい、さっきの資料のやつに戻ってもらえます？ページ。
はい。
それ、そうそう。
The second one, the reference platform API.
The inference API, yeah, we are interested in collaboration. So
The second one, implement the API for the reference platform at Huawei company after Axis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second category.
One question here. Now, since we have the task list in now as issues in GitLab, do we need to maintain this Excel file, or can we just switch to using issues instead?
This Excel file just for explanation for today.
Okay. So I think from now on, let's just use the issues in GitLab. So we don't need to maintain the Excel sheet anymore. So
okay,
we can
accept this task in the GitLab.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if there is anything missing, any task, any issue, they can add that as well. If there's any.
Okay.
小原さん、オーバーオールスケジュールに戻りましょうか。
はい。
今日説明したかったことは、何なんでしたっけ？説明して、今後
をターゲットに、API とか、ベースの部分や SDK の開発っていうのを進めてはどうでしょうかといったと。
はい。Anyway, it's many items, so we need to discuss about the detail on the mailing list or on the hackathon. Not today.
Yeah. You mean the schedule?
Yeah, schedule. About the schedule, yeah, actual schedule for our goals for each items. Or we may have another overall tasks, major item. That's the one we want to discuss. Anyway,
I think it's really good what you have done. So it's good to have some kind of timeline, and then we can adjust things as we need.
My opinion is most important item on this page is release times, release date. Temporarily on this page we have called version alpha, version beta, and version 1.0. He wants to explain some kind of gradual release according to the progress of our development. So we want to define the goal of date and the items of each tasks, major tasks. For example, for API definition is should be finished for alpha release or not, and some other items. So we want to define gradually about the time schedule, because in my company we need to explain the goals of this kind of data schedule. As I explained previously, we need to acquire the budget for the Unimatrix working. So we need this kind of data.
Yeah.
So we want to make it.
So what is definition of beta? Is it feature freeze or?
Sorry?
Beta stage. What is it? Does it mean like after beta there is no new features or there's no new APIs or no? So it's basically a feature freeze, or what is the definition of beta?
Beta. It's ambiguous. Pre-release of the kind of final release for version 0. If we should first we release the beta version, and if the beta version has no problem, no need to be fixed, it will be version 1.0. That's kind of image I have. Anyway, we need to define which version is what. So let me discuss on the mailing list. We haven't have some actual idea for each release. So Panasonic Apple will make some draft for each release definition.
Okay.
いや、小川さん、とりあえずなんだろう、各リリースのなんかこう、定義みたいのをなんかこう、まあ、用意しないとなんかこう、わからないと思うので、そういう感じでまたちょっと一つずつ進めましょうか。
はい。
はい。
Thank you.
Is that all, 小川さん?
Yes, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Really good work.
じゃあ、制御を開放してください。
Then I think next on the agenda was a bullet about testing and evaluation. So Brian, you have an update?
I do, yeah. We've had some good conversations over the last few weeks. I just want to bring everybody up to speed. I'll share my screen here if I can. Can everyone see my desktop?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
It's
Is it big
very
enough?
small. No, it's very small.
Okay. And now?
That's better.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, great. Still getting used to Microsoft Teams. I like it so far, though. So I'm just going to give an update briefly about the Unimatrix Test and Evaluation Working Group. Really the point of the group is that testing should be part of the Unimatrix project's DNA from the beginning, so that we can make sure that different release points throughout the project we're in a good state with regard to both the target hardware and the target applications. So really, there's going to be consumers on both sides of the project. The camera OEMs, who are obviously very concerned about Unimatrix running correctly and being performant on their hardware, and also the application developers who are going to be turning to Unimatrix for best-in-class developer support across the entire corpus of OEM hardware that's on the market. So we really think that Unimatrix needs a testing agenda from day one. And so we've had some questions in our outreach in the last couple of weeks, and I just wanted to address a few of those briefly. Many of you have already seen this slide in our conversations, but who's participating in the T&E working group? Really, it kind of started with myself saying, hey, I think this is important, and taking some initiative, and Access providing a nod and saying, yes, we think it's important too. And now the T&E working group is really looking for members. So we would really like to have someone from each of the core sponsor teams participating in the working group and providing guidance and oversight. So far, the working group is very much informal, and we're really just booting up a series of conversations with the various teams to get a proposal together. And we've had some questions already about scope. So, is the scope to improve efficiency for the camera makers, the OEMs, or is it to improve efficiency for the application developers? And I think that there are really three potential targets for the T&E working group. It's the core Unimatrix team on the one side, who's developing pieces for the Unimatrix stack itself. The Unimatrix consumers, ultimately helping them to test their applications on the Unimatrix stack. And finally, for the camera OEMs, to help them be compliant with the stack. And so really it's a question of which of those A, B, or C do we prioritize right now in 2020. And ultimately, I think that it should be A, the Unimatrix contributors. So our focus in the working group, at least in the next couple of months, will be on just supporting the project and supporting the testing of the APIs on the current Raspberry Pi hardware targets. Finally, in the short term, we would like to deliver a clear proposal for basically a charter for the working group. In the medium term, we want to basically deliver a recommendation for one or more of the toolkits for doing test and evaluation. And then in the long term, we think that there's a real opportunity here to actually implement some new technology, some new toolkits that address the key problems that the Unimatrix stack attempts to eliminate in the technology space. Clearly, Unimatrix is an important modern project for a really critical business vertical, and with T&E, I think has to be modernized around it as well. So I think actually implementing some new modern technology in these toolkits, this would provide a really great test case. Unimatrix would provide a great test case for getting that done. So far, in May, we had really detailed discussions with Panasonic iPro, Hikvision, and Dahua. And in June, we want to continue those discussions with the other Unimatrix teams. And the primary goal is to, at least in June, is to find a way to, be useful for the T&E working group to be useful during the hackathon. And then the secondary goal is for us to submit this, kind of the charter for the T&E working group to the Unimatrix leadership, a proposal for the working group. Anyway, and there may be some iteration on the proposal, but I think overall the feeling, in the room is that T&E is important and that T&E working group should ultimately get the project's support. I think maybe another thing to think about with regard to the hackathon is, are there pieces of the Unimatrix technology stack that are ripe for T&E already? And if they are, then we want maybe to refocus on, getting an implementation of T&E for those pieces of the stack sooner rather than later. So as a general rule, as soon as something becomes testable, we would like to start testing it. And that is really kind of the way that the T&E working group will show its value. Would love to answer any questions that haven't already been addressed here or in individual conversations at this time. Thank you.
Brian, just one thing to mention, this is Matt Commons. We are going to be following up as well directly with the Linux Foundation, just around sort of how to best structure that proposal for that, and how Focal as an organization specifically can support that, and the best way to do that. So we'll have some feedback from them as well.
Thanks, Matt. Are there any questions about the T&E working group? I know I've spoken with most people that are on the line right now, but if there's anyone that I haven't spoken with that has questions about the working group, happy to answer those now in a public forum. Okay, that sounds like a no. So thanks for your time. Appreciate it, everyone.
Great. Thank you. I think the first thing we should set up is probably testing the video API and the inference API. So that would be but I think probably not going to happen before the hackathon, because there's a lot of other things to do right now. So.
Understood. Yep. And if we can't find something to do before the hackathon, I think that's fine. We will really just focus on continuing to understand the needs of the different performer teams and putting our proposal together.
Okay. Then the next item was, I believe, metadata. So I actually uploaded something to GitLab, which is a protobuf schema for scene description. It's not complete. If you compare to OnVIF, it's more like a very draft thing. So I just wanted to get some feedback, so we don't have to discuss it here. But in the private repository, there is a file called scene.proto. So it's a protobuf 3, basically an interface for or a protocol for transferring a state of object, like on if you have a number of objects in a scene. So the idea of it is maybe we can use it during the hackathon. It's not complete, but maybe we would like to use it during the hackathon to kind of transfer some object description from Edge to the cloud. So we were thinking of using this. Is there any feedback right now about it? Or otherwise, we just have a few minutes, so that nothing to. I would like to briefly touch upon the hackathon planning. So let me just go through what we have right now and see if you guys have anything to add for the hackathon. So let's start with the presentation. So from Axis side, we're going to do just an overview presentation about the goals and so on. Also, maybe Panasonic can fill in with the grand design after that. And then we're going to have an update about the inference engine. And we probably going to have an update about OpenCV. Also, we will maybe present something about this protobuf API that I described now. And then there is a presentation about budget, like a resource budget. So last time we I think they were both from Panasonic iPro, Hikvision, and Axis. We want to kind of all give us our current lay of the land. So we're also going to do a presentation about that.
This is Yamaguchi from iPro. I'm now preparing for the first initial draft of budget estimation. I'll share the file within this week or next week on mailing list.
Okay,
and,
great.
Yeah.
And then I've added a bullet for Hikvision about capability API, I guess.
Yes, and also we have a presentation for the inference framework API.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll add that.
thank you.
And then, so we have the grand design, as I said. Also, I'm expecting an update about Qubit. Kevin, do you have something prepared?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You mean for the hackathon, right?
Yeah, for the hackathon, yeah.
Yes. I think I can give project the Qubit project updates, and maybe I can also do a small demo.
Yeah, that's great. Perfect. And from Focal side, I added something about testing. Do we have any other presentations that we should put into the schedule?
Can we add another one from Huawei to introduce MindSport? That's our newly open source deep learning framework, which could be used for mobile, edge, and cloud scenarios.
What is the name of it?
MindSport. MINDSPORE.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Thank you very much.
So I think we're running out of time now. So I will send out soon a Outlook invite for the hackathon. So my suggestion is to use the time from 12 UTC to 8 UTC, at least on the first day. I think the second day, it's up to yourself how you want to do, when you want to do the hacking and so on. And then on the third day, I think it will be a half day for just presenting the results of your hacking tasks. So we don't have a lot of time for any other business, but that's all from me. If you have anything to add. Okay, don't hear anything. So then I think we're done for the day, and thank you very much for joining. And maybe we actually need one more synchronization before the hackathon. So I suggest to have something next week. Maybe we'll try. Willie, can you maybe arrange something?
Yeah, we could have it the same time next week. I could send out an invite.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Sorry. What's the accurate date of the hackathon?
16 to 18 of June.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, so thank you for joining, and see you next week.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.